Today, we are diving deep into a really stunning report that shows how, between 2023 and 2025, the entire American online conversation was, well, systematically taken over. We're going to see exactly how this great displacement happened on X and how a digital town square got turned into a stage for foreign actors. It all really starts with this one deeply unsettling question. What if all that viral outrage, the so-called grassroots movements, and the political narratives you see shaping America online were actually being cooked up thousands of miles away? So the whole thing just blows wide open in November 2025. X, facing a ton of pressure, rolls out this new transparency tool called About This Account. And almost by accident, it exposes a shocking reality that researchers had suspected for a long time, yanking back the curtain on a massive global deception. Okay, so let's look at a perfect example. At MAGANationX. This was a huge account. We're talking nearly 500,000 followers, posting what seemed like the most quintessentially American conservative content. The bio, a proud declaration of patriotism. It looked, sounded, and felt like the very heart of the MAGA movement online. Except it was a ghost. Because that new tool revealed the truth. The primary location for this patriot voice for we the people was Eastern Europe. Yeah, one of the biggest MAGA influencers online wasn't even on the same continent. And this was not just a one-off thing. Take at Ivanka News, an absolute powerhouse with over 1 million followers, famous for this relentless stream of pro-Trump, anti-immigration content. A total giant in this online world. And its primary location? Nigeria. You see, this wasn't a glitch in the system. This was the system. The loudest voices shaping American political debate were revealed to be foreign ventriloquists. So the question became, who are these people, and what do they want? As researchers dug in, they found this takeover wasn't just random chaos. Nope. It was driven by two very distinct parallel forces operating behind that digital curtain. You had state-sponsored spies, and you had profit-driven mercenaries. And this is where you see the two critical and totally different motives. On one side, you have the spies. We're talking state actors from Russia, China, and Iran. Their goal is classic geopolitical destabilization. They want to weaken the U.S. from the inside. But on the other side, you have the mercenaries, commercial operators from places like Nigeria and India who figured out that American political outrage is basically the most profitable product in the global attention economy. It's chaos versus cash. The report lays this all out in just incredible detail. You can see Russia deploying these sophisticated AI bot farms. China was perfecting what the report calls MAGAflage, basically mimicking patriots to amplify chaos. Iran was playing both sides of an issue to deepen social divisions, and then just dwarfing them all in sheer volume, you have the commercial farms in Nigeria and Eastern Europe, just churning out rage bait for cash. And some of these tactics were just unbelievably insidious. So meet Eva, a self-proclaimed proud American patriot. She appeared young, attractive, and her profile was just a sea of photos of her in a MAGA hat. She was also part of a network of 56 similar accounts, and she never existed. The whole deception was meticulous. First, the operators stole photos from a real Danish fashion influencer's Instagram. Then, they digitally slapped a MAGA logo onto her hat. And in one case, they actually forgot to reverse the text for the selfie, which is one of the things that helped expose the fraud. Then, they built this fake all-American girl persona to post divisive content. And the goal? Well, this persona generated incredible engagement, which translated directly into ad revenue for them. So you have to be asking, how on earth did this happen on such a massive scale? The report is crystal clear on this. This wasn't just a failure to stop bad actors. It was actively enabled by a series of deliberate platform changes that basically created the perfect storm for deception. This timeline just shows how quickly the guardrails were torn down. In 2023, the old blue check system, the one that actually verified someone's identity, was scrapped. It was replaced by a subscription. For just $8, anyone could buy that same checkmark and, this is crucial, an algorithmic boost. Then, access for researchers was cut off, which was like disabling all the fire alarms. And by 2024, the For You feed, an engine literally built to reward outrage, became the default for everyone. Just think about what this means. For $8 a month, the price of a couple of coffees, a Russian intelligence operative or a Nigerian click farm manager could buy the exact same symbol of legitimacy as a verified journalist. But it was even worse than that. They were dying a boost from the algorithm, guaranteeing their propaganda would be seen by more people than the posts of authentic, non-paying American users. And this decision, it was catastrophic. By locking out the very academic researchers who had identified foreign interference in the past, the platform created a total black box. For 2 years, these influence networks were allowed to grow completely in the dark, metastasizing until they reached this critical, unavoidable mass. So, what's the actual damage here? This goes way beyond just some fake accounts online. The report details 2 really profound and dangerous consequences that are playing out in American democracy right now. The first is something called algorithmic displacement. It's actually pretty simple. When a foreign farm can generate thousands of angry comments on a piece of rage bait, and a real citizen gets a dozen likes for a thoughtful opinion, the algorithm learns to prioritize the farm. The end result is that authentic, nuanced American voices are systematically drowned out. The online majority becomes a complete fabrication, a digital phantom. And the second consequence is maybe even more corrosive. It's called the liar's dividend. Now that everyone is aware of deepfakes and foreign bots, bad actors have the perfect excuse. A genuinely damaging video of a politician comes out, they can just claim it's a foreign deepfake or a Nigerian bot attack. And because we all know those things are real, the denial actually becomes plausible. The dividend for the liar is that our trust in all information starts to collapse. Okay, so let's bring all this together. What is the final verdict on the state of the American digital town square after this great displacement? Well, it's a hijacked conversation. You've got state spies wearing MAGAflage to tear the country apart from the inside. You have commercial mercenaries using American rage as a get-rich-quick scheme. And both were enabled by platform changes that clearly prioritized profit over authenticity. The final, unavoidable result is that the genuine American conversation has been systematically pushed to the margins. The report concludes with this really haunting warning that without a fundamental rethinking of how these platforms are designed, the American digital town square will just remain a stage for foreign ventriloquists, leaving the actual citizenry shouting into the void. And that's a chilling thought to end on, because it forces us to ask, what happens when a nation can no longer hear itself think?